Buc Bros, welcome back. Back again to talk another loss. Buc Bro Ryan here. I am joined by fellow Buc Bros Zach and Bryce. And guys, if you look behind me, the Buck wall is now finished. Yeah, all right. Just in time to talk about this miserable loss to the Saints. So let's jump into it. We're going to first review the Saints game that took place yesterday. Again, a miserable loss. We're going to preview the game against Atlanta that's coming up on Thursday. Then we'll do our little Buc Bros fantasy, round out the episode. So let's jump into the Saints review. 24-20, your Bucks lose, putting us down to 7-6, tightening the NFC South race with the Panthers. And guys, Zach and I were there. It was pretty miserable weather-wise, but even more miserable from a football standpoint. Bucks couldn't get anything going. And again, losing to a team that I think we all agree we shouldn't have lost to. So explain your feelings after this Sunday's performance. How you guys feeling after that loss?
Yeah, I'll give the floor to you guys. You guys were there in person. I unfortunately was flying for half the game coming back from Charleston, so didn't get to see what ended up being probably the worst loss of the season. It's just a pretty pathetic. That's the word that comes to my mind is pathetic. The Saints are not a good team. They're 2-10. They were heading for a top 5 pick. There is no reason that team should have ever been in the game whatsoever. And to kind of, when I got to the airport, I sat down and immediately saw them drive down the field for a touchdown. I'm like, well, this is not shaping up to be a good game. All I can hope for is we can pull it out of pull out something out of our hat, make sure we win this game and continue this, mid-season slump that we've always get into and try to at least, patch a win and hope we can do something more so against the Falcons on Thursday. Ends up when I land seeing the final, I'm like, yeah, that probably tracks to what I saw for the limited amount of time I saw. Defense just atrocious. That linebacker play is awful. We can't get pressure on, the quarterback. And when we do, we can't get him to the ground. So that's an issue. The offense is, it's really strange. We were able to run the ball. I think we ran the ball for like 167 yards, at a 4.5, per carry clip, which if you saw that stat, you'd be like, oh, you just ran this ball all over this team, right? And it's just, you get yourself into these 3rd and 1 and 4th and 1 situations, and the play calling is just befuddling. I don't know what Grizzard is kind of hoping to achieve, but you go for it on what do we go for it for 7 times on 4th down, and we converted 2. Yeah, we're one of the worst 4th down teams in the league, and in a league where more often than not teams are starting to go for it more on 4th down. That's not good, because they're obviously drive killers, because that's it. You only get the 4th down. And the other team gets really good field position for most of the time. So, I don't know. All aspects of the team looked awful. Now we're getting into the question of, okay, this is now, I would, kind of panic mode in my mind. Season, you're not tied with Carolina for the top of the division. You've got 3 more division games coming up, 2 against the Panthers. But there's not a whole lot of positive coming out. And you got a game here real quick against the Falcons on Thursday night. So, this team just, I don't know where their headspace is, but as a fan, not in a good place right now.
Yeah, it became, and my voice kind of speaks to how we feel about the game because it's pretty brutal. A lot to yell about and scream at in person. 3 for 13 on 3rd down, 2 for 7 on 4th down. Just really ineffective on offense, despite the ground game being statistically effective, like Bryce said, but it just didn't really amount to anything in the game itself. It felt to me like we were just forcing it on these 4th downs, like trying to convince ourselves that we should be able to beat this team. So, we'll just go out and play 4 hard 7 times. it just I don't know about you, Ryan, but it just like when fourth down roll around is assumed like, oh, I guess we're gonna go for it and we're not gonna get it. Is it fourth and short? You may as well just take a knee, give this team a short field. They had a lot of short fields. It's a blessing they only had 24 points. They missed a field goal on top of it. So I mean, it could have been even worse. I think a good team probably beats us 70-20. I mean, it insane the amount of times we spotted them short field, and the opportunity to swing points against us. So yeah, offensively, really inept, really missing Liam Cohen. It's pretty clear to me, as it has been for the last several weeks, that Grizzard is just not the same. It's a huge delta between the two. And on defense, there's no edge. If the runner can get to the corner, they're likely gone. I mean, it's up to a safety to try to make a tackle to keep it from being a gash play. Even against this team, this really bad team, this team that had more reason to lose than win. I'm actually surprised they didn't try to self-sabotage at the end, because the pick's got to be worth more than this win. But yeah, just disheartening loss. It's up there with, for different reasons. Like the Rams loss was really hard to watch, but it was a good team that was kicking your teeth in. This spinning your wheels against a bad team and not being able to get anything out of it, it's frustrating. The weather didn't help, but as we'll all say, both teams had to play in the weather and didn't seem to affect them the way it did us. So disappointing. Individual performances weren't great. Obviously, Emeka has his drop. Baker didn't look sharp. Defensively, no one's good. So again, a good team beats us by like a million. So just really tough. And unfortunately, we have to rebound quickly and go into very meaningful games on a short week. So hopefully things can improve. I know we'll get into the preview later, but what's the opposite of confidence? That's what I have right now, whatever that is. And like at the game, we get the ball late with the opportunity, and we're there with a friend of ours, and he was saying, I feel confident because we have Baker. And I was like, my wife is wearing a Brady jersey, and I was like, I'd feel confident with that guy getting the ball right now. But right now, this offense with Baker and everyone around him, there's like no confidence. When we have a moment to seize, I feel like we're going to bungle it. But
Yeah, I mean, not only you talk about the Rams loss being a different disappointment. This was at home. I was there. You lost in front of me. God dang it. But yeah, I mean, like to what you were talking about with Baker, Zach. I feel like that's a major difference of the team. Like you think about earlier in the year, how confident you were about the team in any pressure situation. Like what the heck happened? I know we were dealing with injuries, but it's not enough excuse. And you hate from being 6-2. You hate being in a position now where you're tied on top of the NFC South, where you wanted these games to kind of be okay, wrap them up, feel good going into the playoffs. Now you really got to hunker down and see if you can find a solution. The problem that we're seeing over and over again is this team can't find one. Baker can't find one. The defense can't find one. Certainly Todd Bowles can't find one, or Grizzard. It's like you said, no confidence going forward. And it's troubling because the team should be better than what they're showing. They just can't, like Bryce has been saying, we can't make a play. Nobody can make a play. So
Yeah,
I don't have anything further to say. You guys said everything other than it was very frustrating in the stands.
yeah.
The team has no confidence. That's what I'm seeing. Is
Yeah.
that confidence that was there earlier in the
confidence.
season is gone. So now you got a bunch of players nervous and not wanting to make a mistake, and that's leading to mental errors, which is then leading to physical errors that you're seeing on the field, right? So Emeka dropping a ball, was that a great throw? No. Should he catch that ball? Yes. Not being able to get the quarterback down to the ground, right? Not calling the right play at the right time. Not being able to wrap up a tackle on a 3rd and 3 to make sure you get off the field. It's just all the, being able to kick, be able to cover a kickoff, and not allow the other team to get to the 50-yard line or past that. These are things that well-coached teams do, and they execute. And right now, we've had these discussions before about Todd Bowles, about his coaching, and whether or not he's an effective leader. And for the most part, he gets into these things, we question him, and then they're able to get kind of that mojo back to pull out a win for the NFC South, get that home game at home, and then, twice out of 3 times he's lost that game. But, he did have 2023 where he beat the Eagles. But, we'll see what he does here. History would say that some way, somehow, they'll figure it out. They'll win these games. So there's a positive to that. But the only question that I have is like, well, where, to your run, like, I don't see a solution coming. And we've been talking about the injuries. I don't think just getting these guys back is all of a sudden going to bring back some mojo. Mike Evans, maybe he's a leader on the team. He's a guy that's going to inspire a little bit more confidence. That's the one thing I can see is, okay, you got Mike back, but Mike hasn't played in quite some time. I don't think he's just going to go out there and get you 150 yards real quick, we've seen it with Godwin. We thought, okay, well, he's back. Well, he's all right, but he's he hasn't played in a year, right? So it's taken him a while. And and then on the defensive side of the ball, there is no alpha dog out there. And who we did have, they're old. Levante can't make tackles that he used to. He can't cover. The other linebackers, I don't know what we saw out of them, but they're awful. The secondary is losing confidence. I don't know what Zion McCollum, what happened to him, but he's not been effective. I know he had an interception this game, but that was clearly a misread or a misunderstanding between the receiver and quarterback that led to a wide open interception. At least he didn't drop it, but I don't know. Just they got to find a way to figure it out and quick.
Since John's not here, I'll be picking for him in fantasy later. Let me try to do my John impression. You know what we need? Jason Pierre-Paul on the defense. You talk about that alpha dog, Bryce. Jason Pierre-Paul is going to eat, okay? He's going to fuck him up. He's going to do everything. So that's a good, I think that's a good signing. Y'all might hate, but that's a good signing.
That's the 1 seed right there. We just signed the 1 seed.
That's the 1 seed, right?
We just signed him.
If all he does is come in and start talking shit to the defense and get them mad, great. I don't care. If your coach can't do that, then I guess hire a player on this practice squad to come in and do it for you. I don't know.
Yeah, we have Mike Tomlin of the NFC South right now, and without a Super Bowl, but we'll just limp our way into the playoffs maybe year after year. Ryan, I have a question about the wall. Was the wall built before the game or after the game?
Before, yeah.
So it is 0-1. Fuck.
Wall. Yeah.
I don't want to say you have to take it down, but
Gorbachev, tear down this wall.
Hold on. I say give it a week, okay? And luckily for me, a week for this particular point in time means I have Thursday night football to help get the juju back, get a win in the W column. So let's move on to Thursday night football because I'm tired of talking about the Saints and being down in the depths. Let's try to look forward here. Thursday night, short week. Maybe that helps the team bounce back, but against a division opponent again, against the Falcons, this time I think we're at home at least for this one.
We are.
So we have that going for us, but primetime game against the Falcons probably brings back nightmares for some Bucs fans. And so we're really going to have to hunker down. How do you guys see what's your keys to the game for this Falcons team come Thursday night?
Well, my key would be bet on Kirk Cousins over passing yards. That's probably a lock. I mean, I don't know what to say about this team.
What can you say?
Key to the game, don't do that shit again. I don't know. Figure it the fuck out. This is another really bad team that is playing for draft picks. Their rookie quarterback, or I guess he's in his second year, right? Penix is out for the year. It's Kirk Cousins. They rolled him out of the grave to come out. They just got their teeth kicked in. Atlanta has won 2 home games this year. The University of Georgia has won as many games in that stadium as the Falcons. They are not a good team, but that doesn't really matter if we turn out a performance like we just had. So the key is don't all the shit you got wrong for the past several weeks, fix it It's another opportunity against a bad team to right some wrongs and to get some momentum going into really pivotal games. Offensively, block, catch, throw, uh, execute. Defensively, I don't know. I like very low confidence on that front, but get pressure, cover guys, special teams, kick it out of bounds. Don't even let them think about returning it. Just give them the ball at the 40 every time. I don't know. I don't know. Is there a key to the game, Bryce, to you that isn't
Um,
just be better?
yeah, I mean, I would say the key, and they haven't been doing this well the past couple weeks, would be stop the run on the defensive side of the ball. Looks like the Saints are able to run against us pretty much at will. And that's a backup running back. It's not Bijan Robinson, who's going to be quite difficult to bring down in space, as we saw in the first game. Yeah, different quarterback. We got Kirk Cousins, the Buck Killer, instead of Michael Penix. So Whoopee, great. I'm sure he'll throw for 500 yards against them in the middle of the field, since we don't know how to cover that for whatever fucking reason. If I could speak to Bowles, I'd say do something different. Just, it's hard to say that on a short week because I don't know what the game plan would be, but I'm like, all right, well, blitz all the time. Blitz everybody. I don't care. Like, if you're not even blitzing and they can just pass over the middle of the field, then what good is that if you're going to go into soft coverage that they just exploit?
Yeah. Yeah.
It just doesn't make any sense to me. So it's like the only way you're going to be able to create anything on defense is to bring pressure, create turnovers. We somehow, for whatever reason, are doing better on the defensive side of the ball of creating turnovers. Even against the Saints, I think we had 2 or 3 turnovers. So that would be keep that up, tackle. Get the guy on the ground. Kirk Cousins isn't mobile, so don't let him run around and figure out a way. Like, get to him if you get to him. So, but I don't expect the defense to all of a sudden become world beaters in 4 days or 3 days. So, do what you can, create some turnovers. They're not a good team. They're in a bad funk too. The only difference is that I think everybody expected the Saints to be a crappy team. Atlanta was supposed to be a team that was competing for this division. They're just as much in a funk, in a bad headspace as the Bucs. So, yeah, I think they're officially eliminated now from the playoff contentions. They don't have anything to play for. Now it's just division hate, right? Like that's what kind of motivated the Saints was we hate the Bucs. I don't care if winning this game takes us out of the top 5. We want to beat them. And that's going to be the same case here with Atlanta. And we have to match the intensity, match the focus. That's been the biggest thing. I thought what I saw from that team last Sunday was a team that thought, no, hey, we can just kind of go out there and beat the Saints. We already did it this season. They're not a good team. We don't need to bring that intensity. And you saw what happened. So I hope people are pissed off. I hope that people come out focused, treat it like it's there's enough players on this team that played in meaningful playoff games that know what that feeling should feel like, and go out there and tell everybody else, hey, this is do or die. Like, you got to win this game. So go do it. Go give it, take it to Atlanta, get them out of the game quickly, and just deflate all hope that they have a chance to win. Shit, on the day they're releasing the 50th season documentary on Prime as the same time the game's going on, at least maybe that could fire them up to do something there. So I don't know. That's my key to the game.
Yeah, I mean, there are no keys. The keys are always the same, right?
Yeah.
Turn it over, get pressure, run the ball, because you can do that. My key to the game is whatever you do, win or lose the first, the coin toss, don't let the first drive kill you. Like, stop the first drive against the Saints halfway down the field on the kickoff, and then just keep the game close in the first drive. That's the only thing I can think of that's not, cliche in its tone of what the key to the game is. Don't let this team get any kind of momentum, like you said. If you let the Saints get momentum, they're gonna think they have a chance. Just bury this team. Just bury them. It's an old. Our uncle used to say he went to a Florida game. He's like, "You're Florida. Just be better. Like, just be better. You're better than this. Just be better, man."
Actually, like what
Jeez.
Bryce was saying about blitzing, maybe we just blitz Zion every snap. He's got to be more effective as a blitzer. I mean, he's completely ineffective
I,
in coverage.
I just
So
don't understand what happened. Like he was blitzing early on in the season. Did it always work? No, but they got home pretty often, and then all of a sudden he just abandoned it. And I don't know because I'm like the results aren't showing. You allow 24 points to a team that's averaging 15. So you got to do something. You have to do something different because if you keep doing the same defense and hoping that eventually players will make plays, players got to make plays. I don't disagree with that, but you got to put them in a position to make a play.
If I could talk to Todd Bowles, Brace, I'd be like, at what point does players got to make a plays stop becoming an excuse? Like he always says that, and again, I can understand that there are no players making plays, but that can't always be your answer. Is to put the responsibility on the players. Like, do something else. If you want to give a score prediction, you can. What results do you guys want to see for this game?
those are two different questions. Prediction and what I'd like to see, two very different things.
All right, what are your score predictions?
I'll answer the second question first. What I'd like to see is just a win. I don't care how. I don't care how you do it.
2-0.
Win the football game. My score prediction, I guess. Yeah, I never pick against the Bucs, so fuck it. I know it's prime time. I'm sure they'll lose, but Bucs 28, Falcons 24.
It's a lot of points for this offense.
It is, but
yeah,
fuck it.
Yeah.
Fuck it.
I mean, the brain and heart are going two different ways for me right now because like we are just a letdown machine right now. Being like favorite at home, primetime division opponent. Oof, it's like a lot of things that go against us. So I will be a trooper. I will pick the Bucs. I will say 16-13 Bucs.
There you go. All right, let me nestle my way right in the middle of that. 23-17 Bucs. 23, I think is asking a little bit for this offense, so we'll see.
It's a ton. And we will need Atlanta to miss like 2 field goals. Then we can win, I think.
Whoever replaced
Koo is probably available.
Yeah, it's like
God, did you see him kick the turf the other day?
That
holy shit!
I've never seen that in my life.
I'm sure he's available in fantasy as well as we move into the fantasy football picks for this week. For those of you who are joining us, the Buc Bros Fantasy League is a 2-round league. Every week we're going to pick 2 players, one from the Bucs, one from the NFL in the second round. Cannot pick the same NFL player twice. So in week, what is it now? 14. Quite a few players are off the board already. So this week we are starting with Bryce making.
This is week
selection.
15.
15. Okay, even more players off.
Season's really almost over. Okay.
Yeah, we're getting to those final months the final month of the season. So, all right. Well, I don't know, man. I think it's been hard because, to your point, offense has just been non-existent,
miserable.
So you're really picking out of like 1 or 2 guys might go off. So give me Bucky. I think they're gonna keep giving the ball to whether it's screens or running the ball with Bucky. He'll probably find the end zone too.
He's definitely the most effective weapon right now. All right, Zach, you're up.
I'm actually gonna back. I'm gonna back a Mecca. I'm gonna say he was really hard on himself and he's gonna have something to prove. So I'll take a Mecca. Anytime touchdown. Just kidding.
All right, Emeka. All right, so now it would be John, who I am going to pick for. So, give me the Bake Show.
Back-to-back weeks for John.
Yeah. Surprised he's available. And then I, as Ryan, will pick who I picked last week. He had 5 receptions. It's not that bad. Godwin, please.
Alrighty.
Oh God. Okay. I'll go with Trevor Lawrence.
There you go. T-Law. All right, John, who you got?
Oh yeah, I'm John. Hold on. Give me Shedeur Sanders.
That's perfect. Okay.
He had a decent game.
Yeah, he did. I think I will take. I'd take Stroud, but like they win, but they don't put up big numbers. I want the numbies. Part of me wants to take Bryce Young. No, I'll take Devontae Adams.
Part of me wanted to take Kirk Cousins.
Yeah. I wouldn't fault you. I mean, you pick Matt Ryan. You could just keep that villain arc going.
I picked Matt Stafford.
What did I say?
Matt Ryan. Another
right.
Falcon, but yeah.
I just blended the two together.
Yeah.
Matt Stafford, yeah.
Has Brock Purdy been chosen yet?
He has not.
He is not. No, he's on.
Brock Purdy.
Okay.
Everybody's on the board. Good
Alrighty.
luck. If you guys are tuning in and you want to follow us along for our entire fantasy journey, you can follow that at our Instagram. That's at Buc Bros TB. If you guys want to follow along for more, we also do our Buck Bets on TikTok. That's at Buc Bros 11. This past week we were 1-3. I think that's the same record we had the week before. Bucky anytime hit, but Baker over 1.5 touchdowns, Tez over 1.5 receptions, and Tevin Culp with a touchdown. None of those hit. So 1-3 in our Buck Bets for last week. So we'll have to get them in early this week.
That's true.
So.
Yeah, Falcons +4.
So, but yeah, follow us along on our socials if you'd like. That's at Buc Bros TV on Instagram, at Buc Bros 11 on TikTok. Hope to see you guys there. For us in this episode, we're going to wrap it up like we do for this particular season with a 50 season look back in the past. So with us playing the Falcons, plethora of Falcon games to choose from in our past. But what about the 05 game, which was around Christmas time, where Dwayne White blocked field goal to set up Matt Bryant to extend our season 27-24 in overtime. Bucks win. Hopefully for a little early Christmas magic on Thursday night, something akin to that game.
Yeah, I think John and I were both at that game. That was a hell of a game.
Got some good times against the Falcons. Hopefully that transpires this Thursday, but we're going to have to see when that comes. We'll be back here next week with that review game and a look forward to a most pivotal game of the season yet against the Panthers. So make sure you're tuned in for that one, guys, because these games are getting heavy down the stretch, especially in the NFC South race. So got a lot of work cut out for us. But for now, let's wish the Bucks good luck on Thursday against the Falcons with a big Go Bucks.
Go Bucks.
Go Bucks. Our 4-point favorites.
+4.
Well, we're -4, but yeah.